something that apparently Spirit wants me to come on here and talk about because I got their permission first before I came on here. Um, I wanted to come and talk to you guys and have a personal discussion with y'all to kind of talk to y'all about something personally that has been going on, which it hasn't been happening personally and it never will happen, but it's very funny seeing people try to go through these intricate processes to try to drive my man, who is very real, away from me. Okay. And just FYI, nobody that is dealing with dysfunction, especially when it comes to when you're dealing with family dysfunction, no one wants to discuss that with a new person in their life. In fact, the way Spirit is going to do it is to where I really never have to talk about it or ever harp on it again. So, like, I'm not gonna, first of all, just FYI, I have a 13-year-old kid that I have to support. And my kid is not going nowhere either. Okay. Just because some people are perverted and weird and crazy and think that they have power because they read a book on how to light a goddamn candle. So, that's called dabbling when you're trying to play around with black magic, and that's when you're truly writing checks that your ass can't cash. So I wanted to come and talk to y'all about how I've been seeing and noticing, and I haven't been seeing it in him at all. I'm not going to give like any details, but I've been seeing certain people literally trying to get rid of my significant other. And it's funny watching them do it and watching the shit totally backfire on them. There are some couples that you just don't fuck with. And me and him are one of them. So I've been you guys know that anytime anybody says any prayer, anytime anybody, I mean, you can try to go into your personal space. You can try to draw a circle to where we won't be able to see you. My spirits are going to see you. I am still going to see you. I'm still going to see your powerless, weak jars. I'm still going to see your powerless, weak dolls. I'm still going to see it. So it doesn't matter. Okay. How is that? Well, number one, I am a justice witch. I am a karmic witch, which you want to be careful messing around with karmic witches because we're heavily connected to fate and karma. We're revolutionary witch. I'm not just somebody that's playing pity pat with people. So it hasn't and it won't ever work. And I just think it's stupid. This is the reason why people should listen. There are some people that call themselves playing around with root work, even religion. Even religion. Don't try to pray to any God for my man to ever leave me or hurt me because you're going to get it. Okay. People have a problem with it's like a delusion of grandeur, they have identity issues. You will not ever be able to remove or separate me from literally the man that I was meant to marry. The only man that I have truly loved. You're never going to be able to do that. You're never going to be able to do that. You're never going to be able to remove my protection and the love that he provides to me. You're never going to be able to do that. You can be perverted as you want. It's just not going to happen. Okay. God did not send either him or me or my children or my grandchildren into this world to be lonely and to suffer and to be without love. That's you. That's your own bad cathartic emotions that these people need to work out within themselves. You know, and I've seen exactly who's been trying to do it, and it's just going to keep backfiring on you. It is. Part of the reason why is because I didn't just run into him. He's not a gang stalker. Also, he's not a part of that. He doesn't know anything about that. When I met him, it was because I asked the universe to bring him to me. In fact, I have the divination for it right here. Let me see some of the planetary influences that came up when I opened up the doorway for him to come in. Give me a second. It was last year. This is the reason ill people shouldn't practice witchcraft or do anything like that. But let me go back last year to when I created who I call my spiritual husband. But where is it? I know it was okay. It was sometime in August. Who did manifest as my actual real life husband. I call him. Here it is right here. No, that's not it. Where is that? Let me find it. Let me look up a different keyword. Hold on. What's that about? That is so perverted to be stuck on somebody's love life. But a lot of y'all out there have been going through the same thing. And I'm telling you, I know that if somebody hurt you because of some kind of spiritual warfare, try not to let it destroy you. Pick yourself up, and because you know what, I'm telling you, it's worth it. Okay, it is. I know that a lot of you guys have been hurt to like the hilt, like especially with some of these fake animated weirdos out here that are just weird fucking weirdness, bro. Like it's fucking weird. I couldn't even imagine. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I have not had throughout the years the best relationships, but I can honestly say My baby daddy, Frankie, love him. You know why? Because he was real. He was real. He wasn't perfect, but he was real. He's passed on now, but he was real. He was real. Some of the planetary influences was Leo, Taurus, double Taurus, Libra, Pisces, Aquarius, and Saturn. So that was initially when I called in my guardian angel on August the 12th of 2025. I named him Theodore, and he immediately, I'm talking about 6 days later, only about 6 days later, brought us back home to Kansas City. And people can say, oh no, that wasn't. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Because there was a lot happening up. I mean, he forced people to do right by me. He made sure things was right. And I did make him the zodiac sign Aries. Coincidentally, I asked him to send me a very strong man, preferably in Aries. And that's exactly what he did. Like, and you can't mess with that. You can't, like, if y'all, this is what they have been feverishly, and I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking, are you people just connected to some kind of coalition of hate and fake love? Because every time I mention it, trust me, they're going to go live and they're going to say, she don't have a man. And one of them, the falsifier, he kept repeating it over and over again like a psychopath. I know people were like, God damn. And I heard somebody else say that it was love. That is not love. Obsession is not necessarily love. I mean, you can love somebody and be obsessed with them, because I love my significant other and I am obsessed with him. I am. But if it's obsession and no love, then that's a disaster. That's a disaster. Like, I'm really obsessed with everything about him, everything. I am in awe that he, came to me the way that he did. Yeah. So you're over there trying to do back-to-back separation candles from a dude that's a Aries, because you don't know his fucking name. So you tried to do separation candle from a person that's an Aries, which is stupid. And I'm telling you right now that you're going to hurt yourself. You are. And honestly, okay, can you imagine dealing with love struggles for whatever reason, whatever reason, your whole life, right? For stupid reasons, right? Just stupidity or either perversion or some dumb shit. Can you imagine going through love struggles and literally, when you figure out the way to find the love that you want, motherfuckers is trying to fuck that up? Can you imagine being actually in love with somebody? The way I describe it is that, for me, he's a man. Okay? He's different. And I think that it has to be coming from somewhere, but I personally do not feel like I would be able to go on in a world where he doesn't exist. Like, that would literally, like, I know for a fact that they would have to just go ahead and put me in a mental institution and just let my kids come and visit me and say fuck it. Because I wouldn't, and I'm just saying that I'm not like because nothing like that I'm gonna ever have to deal with it. Um, Delphine, I'll address your comment in a second, but literally, it feels like my heart could stop, like I would die Like seriously, like I would literally just be dead, like to the world. Like I would, and I love my children, I love my grandchildren, but I just know that a part of myself would be lost forever if I lost that person. So for me, it's as serious as a heart attack. My consciousness, which is very active and awake, you, because that's one of the tactics of your spiritual enemies, is to try to kill your consciousness, which it's kind of like, well, my consciousness is just telling you to get the hell away from me and to go on, man. Go on. Just move on with your life. Why you, what the fuck is the, why you got an inkling in your fucking stinkling for me? Damn. That's my consciousness. And so my consciousness doesn't need to be dead. My consciousness, that is the consciousness. Happiness, joy, peace. But your enemies will try to kill your spirit, kill your consciousness. And all you're trying to do is live your fucking life. And for some reason, they don't want that to happen. And it's obvious that they don't want that to happen. It's like, for some reason or the other, they hate that shit. Now, Delphine says, "Yep, I have a filthy, corrupt family that are jealous." It's important to understand that there is a certain way that you have to deal with those kind of generational curses, because to me, that sounds like a generational curse. Could be coming from anywhere, like crystals, stones. Like you have to have that incorporated. Like you literally, and I'm not talking about just two or three. I'm talking about lots of them. Lots of them. And you have to know what you're doing. And then, even if you did a generational curse reversal years ago, you may have to do it again to make sure that it's set in stone. You don't necessarily have to hurt those people, because I'm not for one to try to hurt anybody in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't had anybody in our family murder a family member or grape a family member. So if you got that kind of shit going on in your family, that's one hell of a generational curse, but if you got something like that going on, handling it is swiftly, but making sure that you are bringing about that peace, and keep, because yeah, I can imagine. I know exactly what you're talking about. And you know what? Just like you can create a guardian angel, I call them guardian angels. I was calling them spiritual husbands, but since so many people are programmed to reject that automatically, I decided to start calling them either guardians or servitors. You can create guardians to assist you with bad family like that. Okay. In fact, you probably already have them. I do know that a lot of people that practice a lot of dirty magic, and that does include biblical Christian science, they will try to get rid of your guardian angels that are already there. Okay. Yeah. So that's something that can be very difficult. And I feel like knowing the solution as early as possible is the best thing to do. Some things are just meant to be. That's just like, my whole journey, fate, everything. It wasn't meant for me to meet him until I was 48 years old. That's the way the cookie crumbled. I'm happy with it. I'm not personally a person that believes that when you're 40, you're dead, or when you're 50, you're dead. I don't feel like it's over. I feel like that is a program that has been programmed in us for us to automatically assume that when you turn 40, you're going to get more tired, you're going to get more sick, you're going to and I think that that is so that people can get away with invading and stealing your energy. That's just my opinion of it. Okay. I feel like the reason why we've been programmed to believe that is so that your energy can be stolen. Okay. A lot of that stuff, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. I had such a crazy past week, if I must say so myself. I had an experience with Santa Martha and Moloch. Santa Martha decided that she was going to permanently get Moloch out of our lives, which I'm not complaining about that at all. Like, and trust me, I felt the energy shift the next day. Clive Davis died that morning. The night before that, there was a ritual that Santa Martha did to get Moloch out of our lives because I have a long history with Moloch. I'm not trying to condemn my mother or anything, but my mother actually did factually abort me twice before I was actually able to come through the third time. So, because we all know that abortion and child sacrifice, those are offerings, those are blood offerings to Moloch. And Santa Martha, Moloch himself came to me and apologized and said, I am so sorry that I have caused you so much pain because I have caused you a lot of pain. I have caused your family a lot of pain. I have caused your children a lot of pain, and I'm sorry. And Santa Martha was standing right there with her scythe, and she just led him away. And that actually literally happened the night before Clive Davis died. And the next day, so I went to sleep that night, and the next day that I woke up, I just felt like my consciousness was like I was either getting rid of something. It was like I was getting rid of something. It was like something was that's why I be trying to tell y'all, like, things like cleanses, clearing your energy, clearing the soul body, clearing the spirit body, clearing yourself. It can make you feel a little funny. I'm used to it because I've been doing it for years, but it can make you feel weird. Like I felt like my consciousness was like either blinking on and off, or if you're doing like a spirit soul awakening, which a lot of people need, it will make you feel weird. So if you're going to do something like that, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But I will say this is that Moloch is definitely responsible for a lot of the things, a lot of the sufferings, a lot. And my wish is that he went ahead and left the fucking planet. Is my wish is that he just left. Doubted if he did because people are going to conjure him. He's just not allowed to come anywhere near me and my loved ones ever again. Okay, because people will conjure him. There's actually a couple of really good videos about Moloch that made a lot of sense as far as with, how Moloch kind of creates the suffering so that you can make the sacrifices, and it's just temporarily the blood is shed, the suffering continues, but there's always got to be blood shed. Hey, Stevan. Hello. Yeah, so I was like, get gizzard Moloch. I don't deal with Moloch at all. I know that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Moloch. I can't deal with Moloch. I do not deal with Moloch, okay, at all. Simply because of that. It goes completely against my principles, and I mean, fuck, why would I need Moloch when I've got Lilith and Hecate, like, or Martha? Like, why would I need to be bothered with that? Why would I do that? So yeah, he definitely, and you know what? I think if he did leave this planet, I think that a lot of people are still going to be worshiping him. Y'all know that owl that it looks like an owl, but that thing at Bohemian Grove that they pray to and everything. Mm-mm. That's supposed to be a depiction of Moloch. I just don't see any reason to do it. I just don't see any reason to do that. And it's really so much chaos and disease and just that I felt. So, I've dealt with a lot. Like I don't know, like I haven't spoken to anybody about this since then because it's been so much hoopla. I'm talking about it now. And the reason why it's coming up is because Santa Muerta has told me that I do have the authority to free and save the sacrifices. And I don't know, maybe my significant other was supposed to be sacrificed too. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Not ever. Okay. He will stay wrapped up in my love for the rest of our lives, however long we are meant to stay on this earth. And then also my children, of course. But, a lot of people have been given over to Moloch, but a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people a lot of Christians worship Moloch and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. You know? That's why how like when you get mad at your kids and you be like, I'm disowning you. I think I've said that. I think that I've thought that to myself one time and I took it back immediately. I took it back immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because no. I would never disown my children. Never. I would never disown anybody that I love. I'm just not going to do it. There's nothing that they can do. None of the fucking tricks and the trickery and the bullshit and the stuff that is not real could ever make me do that. Now, I'm not saying I'm just going to let folk run all over me, even though, being the type of person that I am, people just see, you know what I'm saying? But to let this bullshit, to let that fake bullshit like determine or kill my love for people that I'm supposed to fucking love and I'm supposed to keep around me, obviously would be all of my children, all of my grandchildren, my man, absolutely. Even, quite a few of my family members. I am not going to let that shit trick me into thinking that I'm just supposed to be like, fuck you. Especially when it comes to my kids and grandkids. Like, that's never ending. That's never ending love that nobody will be able to ever take away from them or me. So, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I stand 10 toes down in that. That's where I'm standing 10 toes down. So don't let all this fake ass trickery. It's a trick sometimes. It literally is kind of like if y'all ever saw that movie called Oculus, it's just like it's glamour. It's not fucking real. What's real is your love and how heavy that feels like, and you know what? When I was faced with the fear of, when you're faced with any kind of fear of losing somebody that you love, your heart will get heavy. I know how to work through that. And it's certain things that I do to make sure that ain't no crazy shit going down. Because, like, I had a miscarriage before I got pregnant with Jacob. Y'all, I couldn't even handle a goddamn miscarriage. I couldn't even fucking imagine. I could not even, a lot of these widows out here, how the fuck How do you lose your husband? Like, how did that would be like some mind fuckery. Like, I wouldn't even want to even fucking go through some shit like that. Like, you know. But then again, my husband is my husband because I love him. You know what I'm saying? So that's like Heartbreak Hotel. Fuck that. And that ain't happening. Yeah. Yeah, I be seeing people do stuff, and like my consciousness, when I see you, I'm automatically already reversing it. Sometimes I create more work for myself than what the fuck I actually need to do. If I see you doing some shit or up to some shit, like even if the shit is not gonna work, but you know, I'm still going to fucking subconsciously, like my subconscious is always fucking active. And I'm going to, with my consciousness, make sure that that shit don't touch us. So I really would appreciate it if they would stop doing that shit. You wasting candles, you wasting your fucking time, you wasting your fucking herbs. And that shit just might backfire on you because you know what? I think that you need to gauge how much a person loves a person. And I'm talking about actual real love. If you were to gauge how much I love that person, this would be the Lovers, the Hierophant, the Death card, the motherfucking Wheel of Fortune. Every fucking major arcana in the fucking tarot deck would describe my love for him. So you want to fuck with that? That's exactly what the fuck you gonna get. All this shit. Death, judgment, motherfucking turn of events. Like, no, don't even. Don't even. You know what I'm saying? And then here's another thing, guys. Like, I have not fucking appreciated because of the huge industrial complex that everybody is a slave to, and just the slavery period and the enslavement of people and the spiritual rape of people, everybody, including men, how I had to go years and years without the pleasure of sex. If it were left up to me and my significant other, we would lay around at least 3 hours a day making love. And just this whole time, knowing that somebody was trying to, and I don't agree with none of that other shit. I don't agree with that. And I think that that is what the fuck is wrong with a lot of people. I think that that's why they killed Marvin Gaye. I think they had to get rid of him. They had to get rid of Marvin Gaye because of that song that he made, Sexual Healing. They had to get rid of him. That song will awaken a person's soul. That song was very powerful. They had to get the fuck rid of him. And I'm not gonna, sit up here and be like, oh, I'm gonna make you wait 3, 6 months to make love. No, we needed it right then and there, right now. So whatever this fucking societal fucking standard is, that ain't got nothing to do with me and my significant other. Period. End of story. So when we made love, it was because we were supposed to make love. That was divine. That was divine love that we made. And I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my God, I was supposed to make him wait 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, get a ring first. I'm going to get a ring any goddamn way. So what difference does that make? You see what I'm saying? And I think that it's perverted. I think that it's too much perversion. So not only do I have a ring of fucking purity around him and me, because I'm not playing that shit. And a lot of these men are very fucking perverted. Oh God. That's the main thing that I be talking to Theodore 15,000 about. That's the main thing I'll be talking to him about. These men are perverted. They worry too much about what another man is doing with his penis. Or not doing with his penis. That's weird. That's weird. Because I can promise you that I'm not worried about what another woman is doing with her vagina as long as she ain't doing it with my man. And I know she ain't no other woman doing nothing with my man. So it's weird. It's weird. And y'all know it is. And it shouldn't be fucking happening. Why is it happening? In my humble opinion, it's because of the incubuses and succubuses. You know, I've seen a couple of videos about it, and I do have to disagree. I do not think that any incubus or succubus is benevolent. I don't. I don't see them. I don't see them as benevolent at all. All I see is their maleficency. They are very malicious, and I don't trust them. I don't trust incubuses and succubuses at all. So, you know, everybody has the right to their own opinion, but I'm just saying how I feel about the situation. Speaking from personal experience, how, you know, when your sexual energy is being messed with and siphoned because this entity wants to feed off of your emotional pain, I just don't see any use for it. I don't. I don't see any use for it. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah. Yeah, Whitney Houston made a song called Heartbreak Hotel too. And it's funny how, don't you kind of feel like Whitney Houston predicted her own death through that song Heartbreak Hotel? Weird. That's why, y'all, if I was ever in Hollywood or a singer, I would be protecting myself from my own craft. Like, I don't want that to happen, because if y'all notice that a lot of times when they play them roles in Hollywood, like, they become that person and shit starts happening. Mm-mm. That's crazy. You can tell some of the witches that are in Hollywood that are witches. I'm not gonna call them out, but you can tell. You can freaking tell some of the ones that are practicing witches, because they can do all of that stuff and, like, literally it doesn't really affect them. You know. Cause, but yeah, ain't that crazy? If you listen to Whitney Houston's song "Heartbreak Hotel," it's almost like, because you know they say that Ray J was the last person with her. Do I believe that Ray J did that to her? I don't know. I've never looked at it. Like, I don't. Oh my god, I don't even. Do I want to know? It would be horrible. That would be horrible. But yeah. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. Now I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up, finish this discussion up. Pretty sure, and I know it for a fact, that he puts his protections around me and I put my protections around him. And you know, my protection can be devastating. Don't even try it. Don't even try to split us up. Don't try to split us up temporarily. Don't try to do it. You know, it's really fucking weird. You're gonna find yourself in deep seated motherfucking regret. That's disgusting. Okay? Don't even play around with it. You know, a lot of these people are dumb. Like, I'll tell you something. One thing that I knew about magic was that you don't just fucking play around with it. That's dabbling. You don't just do it just because you want to experiment. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've done, every spell, every ritual has been done out of necessity. I'm not sitting up here just doing random shit. Who has time for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm deep in my craft. Like, for example, I've been out here working with these trees lately, y'all, and it's been pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten into tree magic and stuff. So, you know, I just think that that's stupid. And I would be extremely careful, like, when it comes to divine services apothecary. Like, I don't have any men or women coming to me just randomly all the time. Like, that would be very random for me to accept somebody asking me to do separation magic on somebody, and like, I wouldn't give a shit how much money you're paying me. More than likely, I'm going to turn it down. So spirit don't even bother to bring me cases like that. Unless it's a special case, which I have had special cases like that. I'm not gonna be doing that shit. I'm not gonna be playing around with people fucking heart. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be playing around with my own goddamn heart. I ain't gonna play around with that shit. That shit is very fucking real. You get to calling on these spirits and shit, and they will show up. And a lot of people have protection around them. A lot of people have ancestors. A lot of people have their own protection and wardings put up that you consider. And then there's a lot of people that have servitors and egregores put up to protect the people that they love. And it don't have to be a fucking thing where you're constantly obsessing about the shit. You just fucking do the shit. You do the shit and you live life. I've never seen, you know what really irritates me about some of the people that I've ran across in social media is that they just constantly on some dumb shit. Like, if you got to go back and revisit something over and over and over and over again, you must not, you just don't have nothing else better to do. You know what I mean? Once you put that into place, and it's kind of like when you ask the universe to bring that person to you, then the universe is obviously already protecting you and that person already. And I definitely trust in the universe. Ain't nobody gonna ever put nothing on my head. You can try to do a fucking skull candle, you can try to fuck with my head. At the end of the fucking day, you're not gonna be able to do that shit. So I did protection around myself to where can't nobody do no goddamn skull work on me either, trying to light up skulls and shit. That shit gonna backfire on you like a motherfucker. You gonna be running around here looking stupid and fucking crazy. Don't try to, I done seen people buy like 5 or 6 skulls and line them up. Me, my significant other, my children, my grandchildren. And that shit ain't gonna do nothing but drive your motherfucking ass crazy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And everybody has the fucking right to do it. You know? And a lot of people, they just know that folk magic stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot about folk magic, but I also know a lot about planetary alchemy. Mm-hmm. And I bet you a lot of my adversaries be having random dreams about Saturn and the moon. Don't play with me. Or either a fiery planet like Mars. Don't play with me. Because I bring all this shit down. I never forget, I had a dream. I walked outside of my grandmother's house. This was like 20 something years ago. I will never forget this dream. I walked outside of my grandmother's house, and the moon was literally sitting in the middle of the street, and water was just coming from the fucking moon. It was like so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That dream meant a lot. And, I'm still figuring out what the fuck that dream meant. It had many, many, many different meanings to it. Many, many different meanings. So, and you can't come up and say, but it's meant for me and you to be together. No, it's not. It's not meant for me to be with anybody except for him. Period. End of fucking story. Y'all, it seemed like they took notes from a Charmed episode. Y'all remember that episode of Charmed when that crazy ass dude came up to Paige and was like, I know that I'm supposed to be your husband. And she was like, what? Get the fuck out of here. No, it was, well, maybe we're supposed to sleep together. No, we're not. No, 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 no. Can't no man ever claim me but him. And you ain't got to see him. I would be goddamned if anybody, especially some of these folk on this website with they goddamn crazy asses, no, and you'll never find him. But he does definitely exist, which is why I'm always on here checking these people. But, then it becomes a point where you're just like, oh, okay, now you're just doing this shit for attention. You just want to get my motherfucking attention or some shit like that. People keeping track of when you go live and, whether or not you spend time with your man. Don't worry about, I don't understand these people that are so fucking obsessed with other people's fucking personal business. And I don't know if y'all ever saw that, remember when Kelly Rowland was in Nightmare on Elm Street, and Kelly Rowland, she had a tendency to be very fucking nosy, and Freddy Krueger popped up and cut her damn nose off because she was nosy. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's how I feel about that situation. For real. Quit being nosy. Get out of people's business. Let people have their fucking privacy. Let people deal with their fucking situation. It's some people, and a lot of these people in y'all life, if y'all listening to me, they don't have no place in your fucking life. They are trying to literally create, some kind of scenario where they're supposed to be in your life and they not. And they not. Like it's a lot, or how your life is supposed to fucking be, based upon their fucking cathartic emotional needs and shit. Now, fuck you and fuck what you talking about. And they've been really trying to oppress and suppress me talking about your love guardian angels. They have literally, for some reason, and I think it's because of that, incubis and succubis are lower level fucking entities. They've been doing that shit for them lower vibratory entities for the longest because they want you to just get fed on. You know what I'm saying? And from what I can fucking see, I don't even see where they even getting much goddamn reward any fucking way. They be chasing other people blessings and shit. Like, where's your own blessings? You doing all this dirty work for these fucking entities, but they don't seem to be doing shit for you. It's weird. So, anywho, that's pretty much it. And I think that that's the main, and I think that they know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why they've been attacking. But you can't fuck with love. You can't fuck with God's love. You can't fuck with love. You can't do that. You got to stop trying to distract these people from their life by saying I'm lying about the shit. Like, why would I lie about the shit? You know what I'm saying? That's so fucking stupid and dumb. Cole Turner. And Cole died. The actor in there, he died just recently. I think it was last year when he passed on. My mom used to love Cole. She called him Sexy Cole. Anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about that. You ain't gonna never be able to run that man off for me, and you ain't gonna never be able to break us up ever. Give it. You can tie two goddamn dookie balls to the end of a string and hang them over your bed for 7 nights, and say I'm going through this torture. But it probably wouldn't be torture for some people. That ain't gonna do shit. I'm just saying. About to get me, y'all. Why do I like those little cheap cookies, sandwich cookies, better than Oreos? They have better cream. They have better cream inside. I like their creams inside. And y'all need to realize that, like when people be trying to make you feel bad for practicing witchcraft, and you know what? It's not, I'm gonna tell you something. People want to control you and the people in your life. Like even some people that like they'll be against witchcraft while literal witches are controlling their entire mind, body, and spirit. It's really weird. It's like, oh, witchcraft is bad and you shouldn't practice it. And I'm like, yeah, but I can sense it all over you. Something is, it touches everybody. So I think that a lot of people are damn lucky. I never forget when I'm not going to get into the whole story. It's, but I never forget when I went and I saw a witch. She was one of the most powerful psychics that I had ever seen in my life. She knew exactly what was going on. It was weird. But anyway. So, So, it's crazy. All right, y'all. But I gotta go. In other words, some of us witches are not dumb and stupid. Some of us are not trying to utilize our knowledge to just hurt people and fulfill our stupid, dumb, emotional fucking stupids. Like, we stand on business straight up and down. There's a lot of them out there, they just dabbling. They just want to play around with a skull candle and, set up an altar or whatever just to fuck with people. And I don't agree with that either. But then again, I don't agree with Christian people condemning all witches because that's not your job to do that. It's not. And you're supposed to be trying to artificially create God's judgment because that's not God's judgment. That's your judgment. That's your energy. That's your emotions. That's not God. That's you. Okay? Because you don't know that person's relationship with God. As long as you are doing right, you ain't doing nothing weird or perverted, and God is, protecting you from whatever it is that you're afraid of, or whatever it is that you think is going to hurt you, then that's all that matters. Otherwise, you do anything outside of that and, you're taking it too far. Yeah, he passed away, Stefan. Julian something. His name was Julian something. I can't remember his last name. He passed away last year. Uh-huh. Yep. So, anywho, that's pretty much my discussion. I gotta go. Y'all. Have a happy Sunday. I'll see y'all later. Bye.